Now, from the news team that's covering the Carolinas, this is Channel 9 Eyewitness News Sunday morning.
We're following breaking news right now as we come on the air. Police say a teenager is dead after a shooting at a QT in East Charlotte. The questions we're asking them as they investigate the city's 8th homicide of the year. Plus, 3 officers assaulted in uptown Charlotte during the CIAA tournament. The steps city leaders plan to take now that the tournament is over. And a very cold start to your Sunday. People across the Carolinas waking up to temperatures in the 30s. We're tracking how long these cooler temperatures will stick around. Good morning and thanks for being with us. I'm Elsa Gillis.
I'm meteorologist Keith. Monday, actually now the coldest morning we've had since early February. It's
Crazy.
been almost a month since we've had a morning where we actually fell below freezing.
Wow.
So it's cold out there to start out this morning. So we're sitting now at 30 degrees here in Charlotte. We have a few spots in the mountains that are actually in the upper 20s to start out the day today. So quite a bit of chill to get through. One thing you won't find, though, is a whole lot of frost out there. Our air is very dry, so there's not a whole lot of window scraping you need to do. Look at Wadesboro. You guys are even sitting at 28. As our day goes on, sun-filled skies and that same dry air, which is precluding a lot of frost out there, will also allow the air to temperature to warm up quickly. We're back in the low to mid 60s for highs into this afternoon. Rain chance to be back as we head our way into the work week. Coming up in a few minutes, we'll preview the timing of that rain returning. Elsa?
We want to get back to that breaking news in East Charlotte, where a homicide investigation is underway. Police say a teenager was shot at the QT station at Central Avenue near North Sharon Amity Road just after midnight. They tell us 17-year-old Daquan Shannon was taken to CMC Maine, where he died. We're asking police what led up to the shooting. Channel 9 sent out a breaking news alert about the deadly shooting. You can sign up to get our alerts on the WSOC TV mobile app. These 4 people were arrested after attending parties at 2 different Charlotte bars Friday night. The CIAA did not sponsor these parties, but the bar's advertisements targeted CIAA fans. 3 of those arrests stem from 2 separate incidents at Rooftop 210 at the epicenter. The 4th arrest happened after an officer was assaulted at All-American Pub in South End. Eyewitness News reporter Stephanie Tinoco has more.
It is crazy. I do understand.
Multiple officers assaulted 4 people behind bars.
It's crazy, but things happen.
Police say this woman, Dakota Adams, was arrested for assaulting a CMPD officer at Rooftop 210 nightclub. And this man was also arrested at the same time and place for resisting an officer. Police say this man, Ollie Miller, struck an officer in the face after just leaving Rooftop 210. And in South End, police say this woman, Morgan Lashley, assaulted an officer at the All-American Pub.
And that's why I like the day events, so I feel a lot safer during the daytime.
CMPD increased security in the streets of Uptown as thousands of people flooded the area for CIAA weekend.
They've done a great job. I feel safe every year when I come. I wouldn't come back if I didn't feel safe.
Dozens of officers have been on foot. CMPD says no major incidents have happened with any major venue associated with the tournament.
But I just stick to the events that are just tied with the CIAA.
Stephanie Tinoco, Channel 9 Eyewitness News.
And now that the CIAA tournament has come to an end, the city will review safety and security to evaluate any changes that need to be made for future events. Police have been cracking down on unsanctioned events during the CIAA tournament. Last year, during the tournament weekend, more than 100 shots were fired on North Caldwell Street in Uptown. Thankfully, no one was hurt. And last week, Channel 9 sat down with the organization's commissioner, who says the city's contract with the CIAA runs through 2020. She told us other cities are interested in hosting in the future. New this morning, a man driving along I-85 was hit with a bullet in North Charlotte yesterday evening. Police say it happened just after 7 near Sugar Creek Road. They say the bullet came through the man's windshield and hit him in the face. The victim was taken to CMC Maine, where he was treated for minor injuries. This morning, police are investigating where the bullet was fired from. Channel 9 has discovered new developments in a homicide case in Lancaster. Deputies say Chris Holford shot and killed 18-year-old Austin Steele weeks ago, then dismembered his body. Holford was charged with the crime Friday. Our partners at the Herald report he was arrested the day before after deputies say he hit his pregnant wife while she was in the hospital. Holford's wife, Brandy Duncan, reportedly told a nurse at Springs Memorial Hospital she was scared of Holford and, quote, knows he's a killer. Duncan was later charged with concealing a crime. Investigators say she helped Holford cover up the killing of Austin Steele. Authorities say Steele had been staying with Holford and his wife for a few months. This disturbing news comes as a candlelight vigil was held for Steele. His family and friends opened up to Eyewitness News anchor Liz Foster about how they'll remember the teen as they await justice for his murder.
A somber gathering filled with candlelight, spoken memories, and prayer.
I have no problem with knowing where he's at today, Lord God.
To honor the life of Austin Steele.
He was just free-spirited, and he was a joy to know.
Lancaster County investigators said Chris Holford shot Steele weeks ago, then dismembered his body. The 18-year-old victim had been staying with Holford and his wife for a few months.
For somebody so loving, for something so tragic to happen to him, it's hard to fathom. We haven't wrapped our minds completely around the situation yet.
Loved ones say Steele lived with a form of autism, but you would never know it. He wanted to serve in the military, wanted to become an engineer. He loved riding his bicycle and even rode to the coast once. Those were some of the memories the dozens who gathered shared about him and how he impacted their life before they released balloons in his memory.
This has been a shock to our community, to our families.
That was our Liz Foster reporting. The victim's family members told us they want the murder suspect, Chris Holford, to face the death penalty. The body of Reverend Billy Graham is now in its final resting place at the library that bears his name. Last night, his son Franklin shared this picture on Twitter of the Reverend's grave marker. It reads, Billy Graham, preacher of the gospel of the Lord Jesus Christ. It also references scripture, John 14:6, a verse central to Graham's preaching. Reverend Graham was laid to rest Friday beside the grave of his beloved wife, Ruth. His celebration of life was held under a tent, a symbol of how he began his preachings under tents. Thousands came to pay their respects, including President Trump and the First Lady and dignitaries from around the world. All 5 of the Reverend's children spoke about their father at the emotional service. If you weren't able to watch Reverend Graham's funeral, we posted the entire service on our website. You can see it along with our extensive coverage honoring the life and legacy of America's preacher on WSOCTV.com. Time now 7:06. If you plan on heading to Concord Mills Mall today, expect more security. Concord police say they'll have more officers in the area after chaos erupted last weekend. Investigators say 2 girls got into a fight at the food court. Then someone yelled gun and hundreds of people started running. Witnesses told Channel 9 kids were even trampled. Police say there was no gun and no shots were fired. New this morning, Delta Airlines says it lost a major tax break over a discount used by only 13 people. The Atlanta-based company says that's how many customers used its NRA discount. Delta was offering discounted travel to NRA members headed to their annual convention in Dallas in May. Delta scrapped the offer in the aftermath of the deadly school shooting in Parkland, Florida. But the move angered some Republicans in Georgia who took out a fuel exemption for Delta from a tax bill signed Friday. That means the airline will have to pay tens of millions of dollars in extra fuel costs. More than a dozen other companies distanced themselves from the NRA after the shooting. Delta says it will remain neutral in the gun control debate. Friends of a Union County man murdered while live on Facebook raised money to help with his funeral. Yesterday afternoon, friends of Prentice Robinson held a cookout fundraiser in Creft Park in Monroe. Robinson was shot and killed in Wingate Monday while on Facebook Live.
And Prentice Robinson actually was a good friend of mine. So what we're doing is a unity in the community and pretty much calling everybody to put down the beef and pick up the beef, pretty much. So it's just bringing everybody out to fellowship.
Wingate police have charged Douglas Colson with first-degree murder for Robinson's death. Residents along the eastern seaboard are trying to recover from a powerful 2-day nor'easter. Many still without power this morning, and at least 9 people were killed during the storm. ABC's Elizabeth Herr reports.
The 2-day monster nor'easter slamming the eastern seaboard from Georgia all the way up to Maine, causing widespread flooding. ABC's Gio Benitez witnessing the water's force.
It's just about 12 noon here in Quincy, Massachusetts. That means it's high tide. And just take a look at the incredible force of this storm system, even as it leaves the area.
The powerful storm leaving behind a trail of death and destruction. One of the victims just 6 years old.
The tree is pinned to a bunk bed.
Anthony Hamilton was asleep on the top bunk when a tree crashed through his family's home.
It was just a freak accident in the middle of the night that took the baby from us.
More than 1 million homes still without electricity, with power lines down everywhere, including this mess in Watertown, Massachusetts. The storm also proving to be a nightmare for travelers. So far, more than 4,000 flights have been canceled and around 7,000 delayed. Trains between Washington, D.C. and Boston completely shut down for a while, with only limited service now restored. Out west, another winter storm dropped 4 feet of snow on the Sierra Nevada, triggering avalanches, one crashing down on 5 people near Lake Tahoe.
We feel incredibly lucky. Super stoked to be alive.
Meanwhile, in a different avalanche in Squaw Valley, a snowboarder was killed. Elizabeth Herr, ABC News, New York.
7:10 now, a clear and cool day this Sunday morning. A live look through our Lake Norman cam. Really beautiful shot out there. Meteorologist Keith Monday has an update on your forecast from Severe Weather Center 9.
We've had an amazing weekend, albeit it's been a bit breezy from time to time, but crystal clear sky hangs out here this morning. Next weather maker back here to the west, developing rain showers through southern Arkansas, northern Louisiana. It's going to take its old sweet time to get here. Not today, not tomorrow even. It's not even going to arrive until mainly Tuesday. So we've got a while to enjoy this beautiful weather pattern, and also thankfully the wind today will be much more on the calm side. Coming up in a few minutes, I'll be back to talk about the timing for this rain arriving on your Tuesday on the Futurecast, and maybe a bit more of a chill that will return as we head through the rest of the week.
Children in Charlotte being taught how to keep people alive as violence continues to plague the city. At 7:45, the crucial medical skill hundreds are learning. Violence on UNC Charlotte's campus, a hit and run ending in a shootout. At 7:30, the new information we've learned about the people involved. Scammers targeting a popular app that allows you to send and receive money. Next, the security issues the Federal Trade Commission says it found, making it easy for scammers to take advantage of you.
Like us on Facebook to follow the latest breaking news, top stories, and weather. To join in on the conversation, log on to WSOCTV.com and click on the Facebook icon at the top of the page.